Televiewers, welcome to today's edition of our favorite discovery. We are presently at the Baptist Health Services.
The building of infrastructure is not something that a healthcare provider ignores, but it's not like at the forefront of what healthcare is all about. Because you can deliver excellent good healthcare even in a small structure. But the construction you see going on is from felt need. It's from felt need and observed need. We've seen congestion in all our facilities because patients are coming in, they do not have adequate space. And when once there's congestion, infection prevention is difficult. Infection promotion is instead common. And therefore, in order to prevent infection and promote quality care, you have to have adequate infrastructure. Recently, you're talking about the buses from here to take patients to Mbingo. It is because those that came in the numbers from the west and even from here to travel to Mbingo had difficulties getting transportation regularly. Once we have them come here to the hospital here in Queen and they have the intention to go to Mbingo, or those that we have actually referred from here to Mbingo for specialized care, we are able to move them in the buses to Mbingo and back here. And so I'm just surprised that somebody is watching all what is going on and able to recognize, and Media Prime is actually that eye.
We are presently at the Mbingo Baptist Health Services here at Mbingo, Boyo Division of the Northwest region, where we will be doing a lot of what it entails, knowing Mbingo Baptist Hospital, their services, what is being offered here, and equally what they have been up to ensure that thousands, despite the ongoing crisis in the region, they are up to date and tasked to ensure people's health remains their priority. Here with the administrator of the hospital,
Richard K, the senior administrator of Mbingo Baptist Hospital. Mbingo Baptist Hospital is found in Boyo Division of the Northwest region. I'm delighted to welcome my Media Prime to Mbingo Baptist Hospital. You are highly welcome to Mbingo Baptist Hospital. We have a lot, we offer a lot. We have a lot of services. The first thing is that Mbingo Baptist Hospital is a training center. We train surgeons, we train internists. We have a CT scan that does a lot of scans for patients who need it. We have an endoscopy unit. We have the eye services, a well-developed laboratory, surgical program where a lot of surgeries are done. And in fact, we have qualified staff that can offer the services that the patients need.
In our discovery page, we had Dr. Njini, who took us all through to ensure we know what they've been doing here as she takes us around.
I'm an internist and the Chief Medical Officer of Mbingo Baptist Hospital. We have a lot to let the public know about Mbingo Baptist Hospital. Our hospital offers a lot of services. We have a good number of staff at Mbingo Baptist Hospital. This institution has close to 800 staff, and about 450 of them are the medical staff. The rest are support staff. In the practice of medicine, we have to work as a team. There is no way we can take care of patients without collaboration. So all the time, we are encouraging teamwork between our medical staff. We make sure that the nurses work together with the doctors. We are a Christian institution, and we are encouraging friendliness. We are encouraging people to work together as a team so that patient care can move ahead. But for the moment, I'll be taking you to the imaging unit, and from there we will move to other units. There is a lot to discover about Mbingo Baptist Hospital. Here we are at the imaging unit, and this is where we have our CT scan. Here present we have our CT tech, Mr. Chofo, and our radiologist, Dr. Fejo Gislaine. We have been offering this service for the past 3 years. We started doing CT scans at Mbingo Baptist Hospital in September 2017. We've done a lot of studies. We do abdominal scans, we do head scans, we do all types of scans. We do imaging for patients at our facility, and we do receive a lot of patients from inside and out of the region.
Our machine CT scan, CNN somatoscope, 16 slides. Yeah, so we used to do some all the routine scan and some special scan that we can have CT angio and CT myelo. So we have been working since 11 September 2017 till now. We are working every day, 24 hours. We do routine, we do emergency scan, everything. From Mbingo, from Bamenda, Kumbo, Yaoundé, Douala. So some patients used to come here from those facilities and only to do their scan and go back.
We just visited the CT scanner We also have X-ray. The X-ray machines are here on our left, and on our right we have echography machines. We have a good number of them. I will be showing you the elastography machine, which is a special ultrasound that we do to assess degree of stiffness on body organs, especially the liver, in patients who are having chronic viral hepatitis. When we receive patients that we think have epilepsy, we do this diagnostic workup to see if there are some abnormal electrical activity that is suggestive of epilepsy. And then we also do electrocardiograms for patients that we think have some heart problems. The special thing about this setup is that we can use it to assess the degree of stiffness or fibrosis on body organs, especially the liver. In Cameroon, we have many people who are carrying chronic viral hepatitis, especially hepatitis B. Our studies show that about 10% of the population carry this infection. We don't treat everybody. There are different things that we look at to make management decisions. We will check the viral load, we will look at their liver function, and one other important thing that we do to make management decisions is this liver elastography. We use this machine to check the degree of fibrosis on their liver. With this machine, if we see that they have substantial fibrosis, that will be an indication for treatment, and we will recommend that antiviral treatment for hepatitis B should be commenced on those group of patients.
Here we are looking at the liver, so it has some small lesions. So in the abdominal ultrasound, we don't only look at the liver, we look at the pancreas, then we look at the kidney, look at the gallbladder, the spleen, and the other organs in the retroperitoneum, and also small bowels. The training for us to perform this, you go through adequate training and then you are satisfied before you can perform such an exam. And when you perform the exam, then you are now sent to the clinician who will look at the result, whether they are going in line with what he or she asked for. And if not, then he or she can always come back to us to find out whether did we really do the right thing or what he is having. And we can, as many times, review the images and the patient come back with actual. At that time, we are doing it free of charge because we want to make sure that what we give out is a correct diagnosis. And sometimes we also suggest other tests. If this test is not sufficient, there is X-ray and there is CT scan, and there is also an FNA that they can do to find out histologically what the patient may be having. So ultrasound cannot actually diagnose everything, but it gives you a clue, and the clinicians do the rest of the investigation.
Tata manyomanguji atari angwashi viwi suibere Tata msunjo waje atari angwashi viwi suibere.
We have partnership with many international organizations that we have signed MOUs with to work together in Cameroon, especially at this time. This morning we had discussion with two organizations for emergency response at this point in time. So if we have humanitarian emergency response that people trust, that they can come and work with us so that we work in the community and make life better for people that are suffering. We want to say it is a commendable thing. And I will ask that whoever is working on that in Cameroon at this time should show integrity, show honesty, and show that sense of accountability so that Cameroonians that are suffering, and there are many of them, can receive solace, can receive care, can receive comfort from what we receive from this international organization that come in seeking to help Cameroonians.
After a long struggle, when success don't begin come, lazy people them go say you don't take na mami water. Ubangaji Allah kateme kemwo. Discussion in the name of the Father, like the Son.
Here is our intensive care unit. We keep patients who are critically ill in this unit, as well as patients who have had very major surgeries. Just after the surgery is over, we keep them here for close monitoring before we transfer them to the surgical ward when they are stable. Concerning the intensiveness of care in this place, we have nurses who have been trained in intensive care working in this unit. Unlike on the general wards where you can have a single nurse taking care of several patients, in this unit, a nurse is assigned to a single patient. So this particular nurse is in charge of this patient all the time, paying attention to details about the patient. We also have different types of monitors in this unit. So these patients are hooked to a monitor so that at every time you can know what is happening to their vital signs. You can know what is happening to their blood pressure, their saturation, their heart rates. There is even an EKG that you are able to see at every time and see if the patient is developing some form of arrhythmia. And then the doctor can make management decisions promptly. In this unit, we also have a physician who has gotten training on critical care. Sometimes we have patients who are not able to breathe on their own. We need to intubate them and hook them to a ventilator. So we have that in this unit.
La créativité ne se vend pas au marché. Creativity is not sold in the market.
Hospital is in a very nice place. When patients come here, they enjoy the quietness that is here in Mbingo. You know, when people are sick, a lot is needed for them to recover. Not only the medicines that we give them, but the type of environment in which they find themselves is also very important. Out here in Mbingo, it's very quiet. When patients come here, they enjoy this environment. A few people complain that it's cold out here in Mbingo, but I think the climate out here is very conducive. And our patients who get out here for care, they really appreciate being in this place. Not just the care, but then the environment is good enough. And many of them do testify that it contributes to their healing. We do receive different types of patients at the hospital. Some of our patients need oxygen. And what we have been doing is we either use the oxygen that we buy in tanks, or we plug oxygen concentrators to the wall to administer oxygen. This has been very challenging because sometimes we have so many patients needing oxygen. and the oxygen tanks are not enough. The concentrators are not enough. But then, we now have this central oxygen system. It took engineers from in and out of Cameroon to work on this central oxygen system. So what is happening at Mbingo right now is that we have pipes that have been connected from this central oxygen system to all our wards. The oxygen is now circulating in the wards. So there is a pot over each bed. When this is turned on, every patient needing oxygen can receive oxygen wherever they are in the hospital because it's circulating in the pipes. At this point, we can also fill tanks and send to other health institutions. So this is a major advancement for Mbingo Baptist Hospital.
Here we have an oxygen compressor where it draws in the atmospheric air, compress it, send it into this other system, the drying system, which cools the atmospheric air. Then the condensation is being discharged through this filter. And again, here is being this is the carbon, where carbon is being reduced. Any residue that is any moisture that has been accumulated is being discharged here, and we have a condensation valve under where the purified air. Here, this tank is only meant for purified air. Where purified air, any condensation has been formed, it is regularly discharged under. Above this cylinder, we have a safety valve that releases any pressure which the system does not require. Then this is the switch that opens. Here at this level, we are still having purified air. Where this valve is being opened, we follow through this valve. Then we come to this is the oxygen generator machine. These are giant seat beds. And here is the monitor, where we do monitor the activity that is taking place inside the giant cylinders or canisters. From this level, we move now. Once oxygen has been separated, because it's a physical activity that takes place here. When oxygen has been separated from the nitrogen is being pushed through this valve to the atmosphere. So the purified oxygen is being delivered to the oxygen tank. And when the oxygen tank is reached here, we open this valve to send the feedback to the analyzer to quantify, to really see that what we are giving to the patient is what is pure oxygen. From this level, we open this valve. If we are quantifying it, everything is okay, then the percentage that we're expecting the valve at this point is 93%. It's 93%. Then now we'll send it through this valve, through a new return valve, so that any feedback cannot just move back to that line, but it will move now to the hospital. This other branch circuit, it sends oxygen, purified oxygen, to the COVID center. And this part of the phone, this one moves to the compound. At this level, this system ensures we monitor the pressure. We need this oxygen very highly. It's the intensive care unit and the COVID-19 one. They really need it. So the challenge, the level of delivery. Since all the delivery points have gauges that we usually calibrate to see how much liter, depending on what the physician has asked. So with that one, we don't have a problem at that level. As I'm saying, the only major problem is the power source that we have. And this system is delivering the required oxygen percentage, which is 93 plus or minus 3, 93% plus or minus 3. So it's okay for our system, because when we do the analyzer, it gives all this percentage before we give to the patient.
At Mbingo Baptist Hospital, we are doing endoscopy. This is a procedure that we can use for diagnosis as well as for therapeutic purposes. Endoscopy in lay terms It's a diagnostic procedure or a therapeutic procedure in which we are passing a tube through somebody's mouth in the fasting state to look into their food pipe, what we call the esophagus, as well as the stomach. There is another tube that we can as well pass through the anus to look at the large bowel and diagnose some problems of the large bowel. When we have patients we are suspecting have ulcers, what we call peptic ulcer disease, we pass a tube through their mouth and look into their stomach to see if they have wounds in there. When that tube is passed, the physician who is doing the procedure is able to see the stomach walls on a screen. If there are wounds there, they will be able to see. If there is some abnormal growth there, like in patients who have cancers of the stomach, we can see it. And still with that scope, the physician can get some small tissue from anything abnormal that is growing in the stomach lining and send to the pathology service so that they can look at it and tell us whether there are cancerous cells there or not. With that, we can easily arrive at diagnosis of gastric cancers and other problems of the stomach. As a message to parents is that, first of all, they should be very careful when they have children at home. If you have dangerous substances at home, don't keep it where your children can reach. Keep them far, maybe in shelves, very high up there where a child cannot get access to. Because it's very painful for us as physicians, seeing children who have just drank something a parent kept just there on the table or in the kitchen, and then they develop this type of stricturing and narrowing in the food pipe. We see children who, because of that, have not been able to eat anything again for a very long time, and they have suffered malnutrition. So parents should be very careful, because out of carelessness, our children can suffer some long-lasting consequences.
We have suffered a lot with electricity, and we've lost very expensive equipment because of the fluctuation of electricity we use, and that has kept us thinking. And some years back we thought that if we work on this hydroelectric power plant, it will sustain our equipment, it will improve on the care we give. It was for this reason that we took the decision to embark on this giant project. And as you can see, we are here now at the turbine house, which will be installed. We've already completed the first dam, and the second dam is under construction. By God's grace, we hope that in June we should be connected to our electricity, which will be uninterrupted. And secondly, the oxygen piping project, which has been installed. So when this project goes operational, we will also be able to use our oxygen project without any difficulties.
They say that the taste of the food is in the eating. Come taste the quality of the care we have, the quality of services we have, then you will know for sure what I'm talking about. I'm talking to the people. There is no reason to die in the house when services are there for you in abundance, for you to come and be treated. We are saying keep on keeping on. You have to keep on serving the people, because if you just relent, we'll have more deaths. We want also to appreciate the Ministry of Health for what they are doing. We have a partnership that was signed with the Ministry of Health to deliver services in the country. And the Ministry of Health has been doing its own part, helping us a lot. Social affairs, the Ministry of Social Affairs has become a very key partner to us and working with us on disabilities. Because when we talk care here, we are looking at the total person. We are not just looking at administering a medical episode and making sure that that disease is kicked out and so on. Rehabilitative services are part of care. Promotive services, part of care. All of this, we have ministries that collaborate with us, and we are very happy and very thankful to the ministries.
That is how we made it here at Mbingo Baptist Hospital here in Bello, Boyo Division of the Northwest Region. For Discovery Page, I am Charles Ekebua Ache. Bye-bye. See you next time.
When